What's up? It's your boy Carcino. Um, Once again, thank you guys for supporting the page and everything that you do. Uh, my goodness. What more could I tell you? Mm-mm-mm. The reason why it took so long to make this review for this album. What's up, Mr. Buckner? The reason why it took me so long is because I'm such a huge fan of West Coast music and the style and everything. And now the Still Brazy album, that was my cup of tea. This here is this here is not. Let's just say that. This album was a disappointment to me. It didn't live up to the plateau that I was putting it up to. I thought it was gonna be actually like on the same level or better than Still Brazy, and it wasn't. It really missed its mark. And listening to it, I'm just like, man, I listened to it again and again, and I some songs are okay, but yeah, it's entirely different. They're two different type of albums. And I understand what they were trying to do on here. It seemed like they were trying to search for commercial hits on this one. And it was like, well, okay, we're gonna have that radio, that radio. It's got some bangers on there. But I think mustard, and I don't think that worked very well with this one. Uh, the DJ mustard thing, I'm just still shocked because it's almost like a shock and awe for me that we're even talking about this. I mean, because I really expected a lot more from this album. Yeah, and it didn't fit. Even the lead song, the military camp like song, I wasn't feeling it. And it's like they searching for what's gonna be the radio hit or the big hit, and it's just not there. Yeah, that handgun, I wouldn't say it's just not good. It's just not something you're gonna like gravitate to and hold on to. Handgun, no, it's all right. It's an all right song, but it's not your lead single. That's not what you come out with for your lead single. You don't come out with that. I mean, it's not like Too Cocky is the worst song on the album. Too Cocky is the worst. I hear Too Cocky, I just cut that right off. Too Cocky is a hit. I hate Too Cocky. I do not like that song at all. I would take Handgun over that. I like Big Bang. But the thing is I like everybody else on Big Bang more than YG, really. I thought it was Big Sean's song. To be honest. I know that's got to be the rapper that gets the least respect in hip hop right now. I like the beat on that 666 album, but the song is like, eh, you know, and that's how it is. The album, the whole album, I'm disappointed, man. After Still Brazy, all the hits that had compared to this, I'm just like, eh. I wouldn't say all that. You know, it's more to it than that. I'm just right now. I'm just frustrated. You know, just a little let down. I didn't hear what Stephen A. Smith said. Well, if they did a comparison, then Travis Scott project would be better, which is surprising to me. I never would think a Travis Scott album would be better than a YG album. That should never even those words should never even come out to play. Well, if I see it, if it's something of note, then I'll take an interest to it. But as of right now, we are where we are. All right, Mr. Beasley. No, he's not like the game. He makes good music. It's just that if the direction here was somehow wrong. And that's where I felt the problems lied. It was all wrong. The lead up, everything was wrong. So that's just how we feel about the situation. It's nothing severe. It's just that at this point, that's what I kind of feel it is. That's crazy. I got one person in here asking about Stephen A. Smith. Wow. I didn't know he was that popular. And he said LeBron James was. Hey, all I know is whatever direction that YG went in, this album was wrong. Now, some people may like this album. For me, it does not. If I had to rate it out of 4 stars, I would give it a 2, maybe. Maybe a 1.5 out of 2. I really am not connected to this YG album. And it's not really his fault. Sometimes artists get stuck in the mud. Like they get stuck in a rut and they're like, okay, this is where we are with this album. Where do we go? Like, where do we go from here? It's not that weak. It's not a matter of being weak. I mean, there's songs that are listenable, but they don't connect to you. You'll skip right over it, or if you hear it once, you don't really care. If you hear it again, cool. If you're not, all right. It don't really connect to you. If Handgun was you know what? If I go back and think about it, Handgun might be the dopest song on the album. Now, if I say that, then imagine what the rest of the album sounds like. Now, is Todd still here?
Operator interface. The XL Dual Flow Cyclomatic. Thing's a machine. Meltec 4000, LC30.
No one knows your business better than you.
Helical interpolation.
And even though we might not get exactly what every part of your business does, we understand that every part is important.
Hey, Mark. Over to the Elite Series 1000. It's 90-degree twister on, then onto the VB484. Look at that thing. Oh, I've got one more idea.
MB Financial Bank. MB means business.
I just wanted to take a moment to make sure.
Is this what you talking about?
Everybody understands that, there's a lot of issues that I could tackle. But I leave a lot to you in that regard because a lot of times when black people touch on issues of race, it's like whistling into the wind. And as a result, people don't hear you. And sometimes I often point out the importance of, do you want to be listened to or do you want to be heard? And particularly on issues of race on this show. One of the elements that you bring to the show that I completely applaud you for is that you make sure we're heard because you're a white individual, highly intelligent, highly educated, and what have you, who brings such a level of substance to this issue.
Is this what you're talking about?
Bottom of my heart, I really appreciate that. Let me say this, and let me be very, very clear. It is clearly about race when it comes to this, and here's the reason why. We can talk about what he said about Maxine Waters, our representative in Congress for many, many years. Obviously, you can agree or disagree with her political points of view or whatever, but the one thing you simply cannot talk about with this woman is her level of intellect. She's too accomplished to be talked about and accused of having a low IQ, as our president has alluded to. In the past, this man in April of 2011 not only questioned the intelligence of our 44th President Barack Obama, but literally talked about, and I'll quote, and I'll read from this, I heard he was a terrible student. That's what he said about Barack Obama. I heard, former president of Harvard Law School, I heard he was a terrible student. How does a bad student go to Columbia, where you graduated from, by the way, and then to Harvard? I'm thinking about it. I'm certainly looking into it. Let him show his records. That's what he said about the president of the United States, Barack Obama. The president questioning his intelligence of all people. Okay, this is what he said about that. He talked about Don Lemon. Let me say this on behalf of Don Lemon in this regard. He is a graduate of LSU. He's an Emmy Award winner on CNN. Whether you agree or disagree with him or whatever, he is no dummy. He does not deserve to be talked about that. And as an African-American in this country, the paucity of voices that exist in our nation, the reality of the situation is that he's one of the leading voices in our community, along with folks like Joe Madison, Karen Hunter, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, and many, many others who I respect the hell out of. Of course, this is about race. It's not all about race, but certainly that is a profound portion of all of this because when the president talks about everybody else, even when he's talked about Senator Chris Cuomo for CNN, he called.
I don't hear anything in here that's like quote worthy. What am I supposed to be talking about? I don't get it. YG don't have anything to rap about anymore. I wouldn't say that. I just think that his flow and his rhythm was disturbed for this album. He wasn't able to do him. And because of that, and because he was not able to be him on the album, it did not resonate with the rest of the songs that are on the record. Who? YG? Bit off of Plies? No. No. He just wants some money. Lots of money. He ain't got time to argue with you. No. Who is you? You ain't nobody. You just mad. No, he's not trying to be no Plies. It just didn't work, you know? And I like it. And, you know, and I was really excited about the project. I'm telling everybody, yo, get the YG album, YG. And then next thing you know, it turns out like it did, you know. Hey, some of the greatest artists in the world put out bad albums. Then you had some that put out really bad albums. Yeah, he's a real LA dude, no doubt about it. But I don't want that huge spider in my house. If he's still there when I come back, he ain't gonna be there no more. I guarantee you that. I'm taking care of him. To go. Want to move to Sky Page. Tell Steady Mobbing, that's like the perfect West Coast record. I can listen to Steady Mobbing. Ice Cube is definitely up there, and no matter what views you agree with, Cube is always there. He's always gonna be in the mix. No, it's just that sometimes. What is KMSL? What does that mean? You know, I don't know that. Y'all gotta tell me what's going on. That's what that means. Killing myself laughing. Smiley faces laughing. I'm like, what is that? What is this? People's mouths are wide open. I just didn't understand it. Yeah, it's gonna get a little choppy, so where I'm gonna go. We'll chop it up later.